Bring it to the stage with us.
How's everybody doing tonight? It's been a fun week. It has been.
We just go over that one.
I just realized something. Ever go to buy a bunch of stuff at like a gas station or a Walmart and not realize that what you're buying is like a disaster kit until the employee looks at you like, are you insane? It was Memorial Day, and I went in and I grabbed, it was like 7 a.m. I grabbed 3 5-hour energies and a pack of condoms.
It'll be $4.
I needed the 5-hour energies for a coworker and the condoms for later. I set on the table, and the guy was like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "I'm about to go to work." And I looked up at him and was like, "Are those rolling papers? Because I'm going to need those too. Gotta get this day started." I like that joke. But I love where I work just because dealing with people is like a train wreck. People are terrible. And where I work, we have signs everywhere that says we don't take checks because they always bounce. And there's literally one on each desk facing the customer and one on the desk, like a mat, in case like I use it as a big coaster. And this woman came in and was like, "Hey, can I pay a bill here?" And I was like, "Yeah, go for it. You know, let's get this done with." And she takes out her checkbook, and I'm like, maybe she'll notice. And she sets it on the "we don't take checks" sign and starts fucking writing. And I'm like, "All right, ma'am, I don't know how to break this to you. We don't take checks here." So she's like, "Oh, I thought this was a business. You know, why don't you take checks? This is legal currency." And I was like, "Well, they always bounce." And it's like, "No offense, ma'am, I'm not even worried about that at this point. I'm worried about the fact that you didn't realize that sign was there." The only thing more ironic that could happen is if a flaming fire truck went through the wall and set the building on fire. The only thing I've experienced in my life almost as ironic was wearing a DARE shirt that I got in the 5th grade. I had to get patted down with a quarter in my pocket by the officer who signed the shirt because I won the essay in the 5th grade. But she was in a hurry and she didn't catch it. She was like, "Well, maybe if you took more checks, they wouldn't bounce as much." And I'm like, "That's not how it works when it comes to checks. Don't you have a debit card? It's 2011, for God's sakes." And she was like, "Well, yeah, I do have a debit card, but I dated this check for next Friday because I don't have the money right now. That's why we don't take checks, lady. You are the reason our economy is failing." Oh, she's terrible. Oh, I work with technology, though. I work for AT&T, and having the iPhone's a pain. Because there's something about Apple customers that I absolutely hate. I do. Because they come in, they're like, "I want the iPhone 4G," and I'm like, "First off, it's a 3G. It's the iPhone 4. You can't read. Second, why do you want it so bad?" "Because it's awesome." "Okay, well, it's like I have this. I can use it to, you know, turn off my check engine light. I can use it to make internet for my computer." And it's like, "Oh yeah, no, I want the iPhone 4. It's like I can have it transform like a transformer, like an Iron Man suit, and jetpack away." And they're like, "Yeah, well, I mean, Apple. It's Apple." I can have it like constructing something in the distance, and they'd be like, "No. The other one has all the apps. I like the app. It's an application, you idiot." So I had a dream last night, and let me tell you how it ended. I looked my roommate dead in the eyes, and I asked him seriously, "Hey, Rob, what's it going to get me to do for you to get you into a pirate ship today? Because I've got to sell this one." And the reason I tell you this joke is that's how real dreams end. I don't know, guys primarily, I see this happen too. Your girlfriend will be like, "I had a dream that we were talking about where our relationship was going." And it's like, really? Because I had a dream I was hitting a little kid in a car on accident, but the car was made of foam, so he flew over. Next thing you know, I'm driving through a mall, hit the fountain, car dehydrates, and I get stranded in a desert. That's the dream I had, because that's what you dream about. Nothing. Don't put symbolism and bullshit in what you're not really seeing. Your subconscious isn't that smart. That's like tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. Yeah, I really have only thought of one. But the thing that I hate is when people put like ridiculous bullshit meanings behind tattoos. Like, oh yeah, this eagle on my shoulder is my grandpa was a pilot in Vietnam. It's like, yeah, really? What does that mean? I don't know. I was drunk and I looked cool. It's like, there's the answer I'm looking for. Sport. I had my ex-girlfriend, she got a tattoo of Bambi on her arm. I was like, why did you get a tattoo of Bambi on your arm? She was like, well, this is to remind me that I don't need drugs or alcohol in my life anymore. I was like, okay. And 2 days later, she was smoking a blunt, and I was like, you see why we don't put meanings behind permanent drawings on your body? This is exactly why we don't do these things. That's why the only tattoo idea I've ever had was a dog and a rabbit in a Chevy DeSoto hitting a jackalope while the rabbit eats a creamsicle. Because someday somebody's going to see that tattoo and they're going to be like, hey dude, what does that mean? And I'm going to be like, it's a dog and a rabbit in a Chevy DeSoto hitting a jackalope while the rabbit eats a creamsicle. What did you think of that? It's the Japanese character for douchebag. It's tribal for a mid-1990s white man. It doesn't mean anything. That's what it means. It means I had a mistake once. Mistakes were made, laws were broken, people were hurt. We live on. That's just how it works. Oh. I'm just going to have random people at the bar sitting in front of my video of it. It's going to be great.
No, you're good.
It's great.
They can see you.
Yay. You ever notice the hotter the gas station attendant is, the worse the directions are about to be? You walk in and she's just smoking hot, and you're like, oh, this is bad. Hey, how do I get to 77? Oh, yeah, I don't know. We have a special on Coors right now. Where's the ugly dude who stacks the beer cooler? The guy just comes out like, what? And it's like, there's the guy. He knows how to get anywhere in the city. He's been living in the catacombs for years. I love it. I truly do. One more good one? I can do that. Oh, I just spaced right after you asked me to give one. It's good. It's good. Okay, I have a good one that I'll go for. I don't think Americans are responsible enough to have cameras on them all the time. And as someone who deals in cell phones, I can adamantly tell you I know that for a fact. Is the second that I get anyone's phone, the first thing that you do is go through the pictures. Because you immediately start uncovering who that person is. It's like opening a terrible present. And every now and then you'll find a good one. A cute chick will come in, you hand them the phone, like, oh yeah, and it's like, and yeah, those are your tits, aren't they? Beautiful. You turn around like, hey Brittany, have you ever seen these? You know what that error means? Yeah. All right, no, this is fine. That's warranty will handle that. But the thing that really gets me is, and I used to work at Chapel Hill Mall, which was, it was like working in the Wild West with an inflatable fun zone. Is what it is. Someone got knifed in the calendar kiosk down the way one beautiful Christmas Eve. And I remember she couldn't have been more than 17, but this chick comes in with her mom and hands me the phone and just goes, it's broke. And I'm like, all right. I take it, and there's a passcode, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to need that passcode. And she puts it in and hands it back to me. I'm like, there's another passcode. If I didn't know the first one, I'm not going to know the next one. She hands it back to me. There's a third one. I'm like, all right, get me to the screen where I can do shit. And lo and behold, she hands me back this phone, and just without even really paying attention, I look at it. And the picture I saw was, it was like her at the Grand Canyon, kind of. That's the image that it was. She's like this, taking a picture of herself with a dick in her mouth. And I was just like, that's your home screen. Every time you call someone, that's what you're looking at. Old women come in here, and it's like, oh, there's your blurry cat. Great, wonderful. It's fine, leave. And it's like, oh, your beautiful kids, your expensive car, whatever. Dick in your mouth.
No, I can't give any beer.
So now I'm standing there like shocked, and the mom's like, why did your eyes do that? And it's like, well, excuse me, ma'am. As an employee of AT&T, I don't think it's my part to say this, but your daughter's a little hoe. She's getting out on that shit all day, apparently. In fact,
How
she
can
wants
they
to
carry
remember that she's been doing it.
I put it in a bag.
In this captivated image right here. It's,
Wrapped up.
you don't need tech support, ma'am. You need counseling.
Okay.
That's what you need in your house,
How
really, is
can
what
I
I'm
open
saying.
it there?
I think that's what I
Can I
got.
open myself?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for coming out, everybody.
What's the name? Which one
Check
are
your
you
weight
going to give me?
set.
Which one are you going to give me?
I have Budweiser.